Hello everyone, this is Payal Vacha. Welcome to Pharma Desert. In this video, we will discuss about investigational new drug application part 2. So let's get started. These are the list of contents we will discuss in this video. First one is resources for IND applications. Next one is IND review and report. Next one is notification to the sponsor and exploratory IND studies. First of all, resources for IND applications. The following resources include the legal requirements of an IND application. So what was the resources that are particularly used as a resource for IND application? Following resources, this is included as a legal requirements for IND application. Assistance from CDER to help you meet those requirements and internal IND review principles, policies and procedures. So what was the resources for IND application? First one is assistance from CDER to help you meet those requirements. Second one is internal IND review principles, policies as well as procedure. What is CDER? We already discussed in last lecture. CDER, that is a Center for Drug Evaluation and Research. They perform an essential they perform an essential public health task by making sure that safe and effective drugs are available to improve the health of people in the United States. So, Center for Drug Evaluation as well as Research, they perform an essential public health task. How they perform? They performed by making sure that safe and effective drugs that are available to improve the health of people in United States. Next one is pre-IND consultation program, guidance documents for IND, laws, regulations, policies and procedures, CFR, that is a code of federal regulation, and manual of policy as well as procedure. First one is pre-IND consultation. What is pre-IND consultation? In pre-IND consultation program, CDER, pre-investigational new drug application consultation program, foster early communications between sponsors in new drug review decisions to provide a guidance on the data that are necessary to warrant IND submission. So pre-IND consultation program, in this program, CDER, Center for Drug Evaluation and Research, they pre-investigational CDER's pre-investigational new drug application, that is a IND consultation program, they foster early communications between sponsor as well as new drug review divisions, and they provide guidance on the data they are necessary to warrant IND submission. So in pre-IND consultation program, CDER's pre-investigational new drug application program, they foster, that means they encourage the development of something. So foster or they encourage development of drug, and they communicate between the sponsors as well as new drug review divisions, and they provide guidance on data necessary to warrant IND submission. The review divisions are organized generally along therapeutic class and can each be contacted using the designated pre-IND consultation list. So the review divisions that are organized generally along therapeutic classes as well as can each be contacted using designated pre-IND consultation list. Next one is guidance document for IND. Which type of guidance document are available for IND? Guidance documents represent the agency's current thinking on a particular subject. So guidance document, they represent any agency or company current thinking on a particular or specific subject. These documents provide FDA review, staff and applicants or sponsors with guidelines to the processing, content and evaluation or approval of applications, and also to the design, production, manufacturing and testing of regulated products. So these guidance documents provide FDA review, staff and applicants or sponsor with guidelines regarding processing, content, as well as evaluation or approval of applications. And they also to the design, production, manufacturing, and testing of regulated products. So document which provide FDA review regarding staff and applicant, as well as they provide guidelines regarding processing, content, evaluation, otherwise approval of application, design, production, manufacturing, and testing of regulated products. They also establish policies intended to achieve consistency in the agency's regulatory approach and establish inspection and enforcement procedure. So guidance document, they also establish policies. Why they establish policies? They intended to achieve consistency in any agency or company's regulatory approach, as well as they establish inspection and enforcement procedure. Because guidances are not regulations or laws, they are not enforceable either through administrative action or through court. So guidance that are not a one type of regulation or law, and they are not enforceable with administrative action or through courts. An alternative approach may be used if it satisfies the requirements of the applicable statute, regulations, or both. So, what was the alternative approach? Alternative approach is that are used if it is satisfy the requirements of applicable statute, regulations, or statute and regulations, both of it. For information on a specific guidance documents, please contact originating office. So for the information of right as well as specific guidance document, directly contact with its originating office. Laws, regulations, policies and procedures. The mission of FDA is to enforce laws that are enacted by United States Congress and regulations that are established by agency to protect the consumer's health, safety and pocket. So what was the laws and regulations as well as policies and procedures? The mission of Food and Drug Administration is to enforce the law that are enacted by United States Congress as well as regulation that is established by agencies. Why laws that is enacted as well as regulations that is established? To protect consumers' health, safety as well as pockets. The Federal Food, Drug and Cosmetic Act is the basic food and drug law of United States. The law is intended to assure consumers that foods are pure and wholesome and safe to eat and products produced under a sanitary conditions, and that drugs and devices are safe and effective for their intended uses, that cosmetics are safe and made from appropriate ingredients, and that all labeling and packaging is truthful, informative, and not deceptive. That means this type of law, what was the intention of law? They assure consumers that foods are pure, wholesome, as well as safe for eating purpose and produced under sanitary conditions. That drugs and devices are safe and effective for their intended use. So first of all, law that is prepare and that laws law that is prepare and main intention is that consumers that the food are pure as well as safe for eating as well as produced under a sanitary conditions and that the drug and devices both are safe as well as effective for their intentional use and cosmetics that are safe as well as made from appropriate ingredients by using these laws as well as guidelines and regulatory bodies and that all the labeling as well as packaging is truthful, informative, not a deceptive. Next one is CFR. What is CFR? Code of Federal Regulation. The final regulations that is published in Federal Register that are collected in the Code of Federal Regulations. So CFR, that is a code of federal regulation and final regulation that is published in Federal Register. So this final regulation that is published in Federal Register that are collected in CFR and CFR it is divided into 50 titles and that represent broad areas subject to federal regulations. So CFR that is divided into 50 titles and they represent broad area subject for regulation purpose. FDS portion of CFR which interprets the Federal Food, Drug and Cosmetic Act as well as related statutes. And section 21 of the CFR which contains most regulations pertaining to food and drugs. So FDS portion of CFR they interpret Federal Food, Drug and Cosmetic Act and related statute while section 21 of CFR, so what was the role of CFR 21? They contained most regulation pertaining to food as well as drugs. The regulation document all actions of all drug sponsor that are required under federal law. Various CFR bodies available 21 CFR and 21 CFR have a various part. First one is 21 CFR part number 312 that are indicated or that are used for investigational new drug application that is INDA. Next one is 21 CFR part number 314 and board is INDA as well as the NDA application. That is a new NDA, that is a new drug application for FDA approval to market a new drug substances. 21 CFR part number 316. 316 that are for orphan drugs. 21 CFR part number 58 that are for good lab practice for non-clinical laboratories as well as animal studies, while 21 CFR part number 50 and board is protection of human subjects. 21 CFR part 56 board is institutional review boards. 21 CFR part number 201 that are used for drug labeling and last one is 21 CFR part 54 board is financial disclosure by clinical investigators. Manual of policies as well as procedure that are also called as MAPPS. So CDER's manual of policy as well as procedures are approved instruction for internal practice and procedure. that are followed by CDER staff to help standardize the new drug review process as well as other activities. So what was the role of manual of policies as well as procedures? CDER's manual of policy and procedure are approved instruction, that are the approved instruction and that are particularly used for internal practice as well as procedure, and that is followed by CDER staff to help standardize new drug review process as well as other activities. So manual of policies and procedure that are approved instruction and that are particularly used for internal practice and procedure, and these policy and procedure that are followed by CDER staff, and they help standardize the new drug review process as well as other activities. All manual of policy and procedures are available for the public to review for a better understanding of office policies, definitions, staff responsibilities and procedures. So manual of policy and procedure that are available for public to review for better understanding of office policy, definitions, staff responsibility and procedure. So manual of policy and procedure that are available as a review for any unknown public, they easily understand office policy, what was the definitions as well as what was the responsibility of staffs and what was the procedure. IND review and report. During this time, FDA has an opportunity to review the IND application for safety to assure that research subjects will not be subjected to unreasonable risk. So what is the IND review and report? In IND review as well as report, during review and reporting time, FDA that have a opportunity to review the IND application for safety to assure that research subject will not be subjected to unreasonable risk. Various type of review: medical review, chemistry review, pharmacological or toxicological review, statistical analysis as well as safety review. First one is medical review. In medical review, during the IND application review process, medical reviewer evaluates the clinical trial protocol to determine if the participants will be protected from unnecessary risk. And second one is the study design will provide a data relevant to the safety and effectiveness of the drug. So in medical review, during IND application review process, medical reviewer, so what was the role of medical reviewer? Medical reviewer evaluates the clinical trial protocol. Why they evaluate clinical trial protocol? For determining if the participant will be protected from unnecessary risk, as well as the study design will provide a data they are relevant to the safety and effectiveness of drug substance. Under a federal regulations, proposed phase 1 studies are evaluated almost exclusively for safety reason. So under federal regulations, proposed phase 1 study that are evaluated for safety purpose. Since the late 1980s, FDA reviewers have been instructed to provide a drug sponsor with greater freedom during phase 1 as long as the investigators do not expose participants to undue risk. So since 1980, FDA reviewer they have been instructed to provide drug sponsors with great freedom during phase 1 study, and as long as investigational do not expose participant for undue risk. In evaluating phase 2 and phase 3 investigation, however, FDA reviewers also must ensure that these studies are of sufficient scientific quality to be capable of yielding data that can support marketing approval. So in evaluating phase 2 as well as phase 3 clinical trial, FDA reviewers must ensure that these studies are of sufficient scientific quality and it should be capable of yielding data and that can support marketing approval. Next one is chemistry review. They address issues related to drug identity, manufacturing control, and analysis. So, in chemistry review, that are related to drug identity as well as manufacturing control and drug analysis purpose. And the reviewing chemist, they evaluate manufacturing and processing procedure for a drug to ensure that the compound is adequately reproducible as well as stable. So for the chemistry review, reviewing chemist, they evaluate manufacturing and processing procedure. Why manufacturing chemist evaluate manufacturing procedure? They are they evaluate because for a drug to ensure that compound is reproducible as well as compound is stable. At the beginning of chemistry and manufacturing section, the drug sponsor should state whether it believes the chemistry of either the drug substance or the drug product or the manufacturing of either drug substance or drug product present any signals of potential human risk. So at the beginning of chemistry as well as manufacturing section, the drug sponsor should state whether it believes the chemistry of either the drug substance or drug product or manufacturing of drug substance or drug product which may present any signals of potential human risk. If so, these signals should be discussed with steps that are proposed to monitor for such a risk. In addition, sponsors should describe any chemistry and manufacturing differences between the drug product proposed for clinical use and the drug product used in the animal toxicology trials that form the basis for the sponsor's conclusion that it was safe to proceed with the proposed clinical studies. So in addition, sponsors they should describe chemistry as well as manufacturing difference between drug products and that are proposed for clinical use and drug product that are used in animal toxicology trials and that form the basis for sponsor calculation, sponsors conclusions and it was safe to proceed with proposed clinical study. Next one is pharmacology or toxicology review. This team is staffed by pharmacologists and toxicologists who evaluate the result of animal testing and attempt to relate animal drug effect to potential effects in humans. So, pharmacological reviewer team or staff that are made by pharmacologist as well as toxicologist. And what was the role of pharmacologist and toxicologist? They evaluate the result of animal testing and attempt to relate animal drug effect to potential effects in human beings. And this section of application should contain, if known, a description of pharmacological effects and a mechanism of action of drug in animals. So in pharmacology as well as toxicology review, the section of application, they should contain, if known, a description of pharmacological effects as well as mechanism of action of drug in animals. Information on absorption, distribution, metabolism as well as excretion of drug. So by pharmacologist and toxicologist team, they also evaluate ADME of drug, absorption, distribution, metabolism as well as excretion. The regulations do not further describe presentation of this data in contrast to the more detailed description of how to submit toxicology data. So regulations, they do not describe presentation of data in contrast to more details description of how to submit toxicological data. In summary report, without individual animal record or individual study result usually suffice. An integrated summary of toxicology effects of the drug in animals and in vitro. The particular studies needed depend on the nature of drug and phase of human investigation. So, integrated summary of toxicology effects of the drug in animals as well as in vitro. The particular studies they are needed and that are depend on nature of drug as well as they are dependent on phases of human investigations. When species, specificity, immunogenicity, or other considerations appear to make many or all toxicological models irrelevant, sponsors that are encouraged to contact the agency to discuss toxicological testing. So, when the species, the specificity, immunogenicity, or any other considerations. They appear to make many or all toxicological models. They are irrelevant and sponsors that are encouraged to contact the agency to discuss toxicological testing. Next one is statistical analysis. The purpose of this evaluation is to give the medical officers a better idea of the power of the finding to be extrapolated to the larger patient population in the country. So what was the role of statistical analysis? Purpose of statistical analysis is to give the medical officers they give the better idea of power of finding to be extrapolated to the larger patient population in any country. Safety review. Following review of initial IND application submission, CDER has 30 calendar days in which to decide if a clinical hold is necessary and if patients would be at an unacceptable risk or if CDER doesn't have the data to make such a determination. So for safety review, following review of initial IND application submission, CDER has 30 days time limit to decide if a clinical hold is necessary or not. Generally, drug review divisions do not contact the sponsor if no concern arises with a drug safety and proposed clinical trials. So, sponsors is notified about deficiency through a clinical holds. And clinical hold that is issued by FDA to sponsor to delay a proposed clinical investigation or to suspend a clinical investigation. So in generally, drug review divisions, they do not contact the sponsor if not concern arise with drug safety as well as proposed clinical studies. A sponsor that is notified about deficiency through clinical hold and a clinical hold that is issued by FDA to the sponsor to delay a proposed clinical investigation, otherwise to suspend a clinical investigation. That is the IND review process. That is the chart of IND review process. Applicant or a drug sponsor. Then they submit to IND and IND after IND reviewed by CDER for medical purpose, chemistry, pharmacology or toxicology review as well as statistical review. First one is applicant or drug sponsor. They submit IND application and after IND application submission reviewed by CDER, medical review, chemistry review, pharmacological and statistical review. 4 reviews are conducted and check safety review. Safety is acceptable for study to be proceed. If yes, so complete review. If no, clinical hold decision is occur. Second one is if yes, complete review. After that, review is complete and acceptable. If yes, no deficiency. If no, sponsor notified of deficiencies. So first one is applicant or drug sponsor. They submit a IND application and that is reviewed by CDER. By various medical reviews occur, chemistry review, pharmacological review as well as statistical review is performed. After that, safety review is checked. If safety is acceptable for study to proceed, if yes, complete review, if no, clinical hold decision. If clinical hold decision, yes, notify the sponsor and sponsor submit new data. But if clinical hold decision, no, that means complete review. After complete review complete and acceptable. If yes, so no deficiency and study ongoing. If no, sponsor notify of deficiencies. So that is regarding INDA review process. Notification to the sponsor. Once a clinical hold is placed on a commercial IND application, sponsor will be notified immediately by telephone by division director. So once clinical hold that is placed on a commercial IND application. So what was the role of sponsor? Sponsor, they will notify immediately by telephone by the division of director. And for both individual as well as commercial IND application, division is required to send a letter within a 5 working days following the telephonic call. So both individual as well as commercial IND application, division that is required for sending a letter within 5 working days after telephonic conversation. The letter should describe the reasons for the clinical hold and must bear the signature of the division director. So in letter, which type of details that is entered? In letter, they describe the reason for clinical holding as well as they must bear the signature of division director. The grounds for imposition of clinical hold are as follows. Human subjects are or would be exposed to unreasonable as well as significant risk of illness. Second one is clinical investigator named in IND application are not qualified. Third one is investigator brochure is misleading, erroneous or materially incompleted. Last one is IND doesn't contain sufficient information to assess the risk. So why clinical holding is occur? Various reasons are available for clinical holding. First one is human subjects that are exposed to unreasonable as well as significant risk of illness or injury. Second one is clinical investigators. They name entered in a IND application. They are not properly or well qualified. Investigator brochure that is a misleading or materially that are incompleted. Next one is IND they does not contain sufficient information to assess risk, and protocol is deficient to meet objective of trial. Mechanism that CDER uses when it does not believe or can't confirm that the study can be conducted, and CDER will contact sponsor within 30-day initial review period. So protocol that is deficient to meet the objectives of trial as well as mechanism that CDER uses when it doesn't believe or can't confirm that study can be conducted or not, as well as last one is CDER will contact sponsor within 30-day initial review period. The sponsor may then respond to CDER by sending an IND clinical hold response letter to the division. That means sponsor they may respond to CDER by sending IND clinical hold response letter, and letter that is sending to the division. To expedite processing, letter must be clearly identified as an IND clinical hold response letter. And division then reviews the sponsor response and decide within 30 days as to whether the hold should be lifted or not. So first step is sponsor. They may respond to CDER by sending IND clinical hold response, that is an IND clinical hold response letter, that is sending to division. After that, expedite processing. Letter must be clearly identified as an IND clinical hold response letter, and the division then review the sponsor's response and decides within 30 days as to whether the hold should be lifted or not. If the division does not reply to the clinical hold response within 30 days calendar, the division director will telephone the sponsor and discuss what is being done to facilitate completion of review. So if the division doesn't reply for clinical holding response within 30 days time period, division director directly call to the sponsor and discuss what is being done to facilitate completion of review. And if it is decided that hold will not be lifted and the hold decision is automatically sent to office director for the review. The office director must decide within 14 days calendar whether or not to sustain the division's decision to maintain the clinical hold. So after reaching to office director they must decide within 14 days whether or not to sustain the division's decision to maintain the clinical hold. And if the decision is made to lift the hold, division telephones the sponsor, informs them of the decision and sends a letter confirming that the hold has been lifted. And finally, letter will be sent within 5 working days of the telephone call. However, trial may begin once the decision has been relayed or sponsored by telephone. Sponsor will be notified. If the deficiency are found in IND application that the review division determine are not serious enough to justify delaying clinical studies, as well as division may either telephonic or forward a deficiency letter to the sponsor. And in either case, division informs the sponsor that it may proceed with the planned clinical trials, but that additional information is necessary to complete or correct the IND application file. Once CDER's 30-day initial review period expires, after that, clinical studies can be initiated as well as unless a clinical hold has been replaced. Beyond the 30-day review period of IND application, subsequent clinical trials that may begin immediately upon submission of clinical protocol to the IND application. If the sponsor has or sponsor was notified of deficiencies that were not serious enough to warrant a clinical hold, and the sponsor addresses these deficiencies while the study proceeds. Next one is exploratory IND studies. Exploratory IND studies are intended to provide clinical information for new drug candidates at a much earlier phase of drug development, as well as these studies help to identify the best candidates for continued development, as well as they identify best candidates for eliminate those lacking promise. And these clinical trials occur very early in phase 1 and involve very limited human exposure and have a no therapeutic intent. Exploratory IND studies they are conducted prior to the traditional dose escalation, safety and tolerance studies and provide information on pharmacokinetics and bioavailability of candidate drugs, as well as in April 2005 FDA released a draft guidance particularly for exploratory IND studies, and that clarifies preclinical and clinical approaches and that should be considered when planning exploratory IND studies in the human beings. As a part of FDA's Critical Path Initiative, this process is a new tool and that are available to the industry that enables a faster, more cost-effective path to early clinical development. If any query or doubt related to topic, please write your questions in comment box. Thank you.